Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It's Stupid Play Negative AE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, because I know it's been a little bit, we ended up kind of failing. Satoko got taken, I guess, is a word that you could say, by her uncle, and that's never a good thing in our world or in our experience. It seems like things are happening sort of the same way, but with different people, so we're a little depressed, but who knows? Maybe things will go right or something, or maybe we'll get close. I think there's some unread tips that we have. There is the wet blanket tip. Let's see what we got here. Teppei came back to Hinamizawa to get away from trouble. He needs to stay here for the rest of the summer, or perhaps the whole year, and see what happens. For him, the house in Hinamizawa is like a boring hiding place. His lover, Rina, suddenly disappeared. Rumors told him that she was involved with some dangerous deal. Some source even told him that she has already been caught and killed. Everyone around him knew that Rina was living with him. Everyone assumed that he knew everything about what Rina did. They were convinced that he got money by tricking her into something, and some dangerous guys came after him. That made it difficult for him to stay in Okinomiya. More than anything, it pissed him off to find out that Rina was cooking something up behind his back with some other guys. Hinamizawa was the only place he could go. He can't go back to that house where he used to live with his wife. It's been abandoned since he moved to Satoko's house. He doesn't even have the key to his old house. But if he goes to Satoko's house, she should still be there, and she can clean and cook for him. Teppei doesn't know how to cook or clean, and he's not even thinking about learning. I don't know if it's that hard, man. I mean, unless you want like something really good cooked up, like you could just make like scrambled eggs or some shit, you know? Rina was rebellious towards Teppei. He often said that he wanted to be with someone more loyal, like a pet. For Teppei, Satoko is exactly what he wanted. She's still just a little kid, so she can't satisfy him sexually. But at least he can force her to wash his back in the bath. Satoko's dead mother used to be a pretty woman. She might grow up to be a pretty lady in about 4 to 5 years. Teppei headed back to Hinamizawa with those indecent thoughts in his head. Man, this guy really does not care about Satoko one bit. They're really driving that home. The house was locked, so he assumed that she was at the market for grocery shopping. She found her in the store and dragged her back home. However, the house was full of dust. She had been living at a friend's house for the past year, and the house was abandoned. Teppei exploded in anger. He told her that it was her responsibility to keep the house in order. He beat her up and kicked her down to the floor. Damn. I mean, I guess it was clear from him beating her up and stuff. But I also didn't think that, like, he just thought of her as, like, a... I guess it was obvious before. Eventually, Satoko's expression went back to what he saw in the 57th year of the Showa era. Satoko started obeying him immediately and cleaned up the house. A new place to hide with a new girl. His life was starting out pretty good. Teppei called his buddies to show off his new start and played mahjong with him. He bragged about his new pet and made her serve them alcohol and food. He told her to walk on all 4 limbs like a real pet. She refused, but she obeyed immediately when he tried to hit her. Everyone was laughing and they were envious of him. He felt really good. However, someone came to interrupt his perfect life. I'm a teacher from the Hinamizawa school. My name is Chie. Satoko Hyojo-san there. He thought someone was at his door to sell him insurance or something. But it was a school teacher. Huh? What the hell? What do you want with Satoko? I came here today because she didn't come to school today. I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened. School? Yes. Is she home? I need to talk with her. She's sick, that's right. She has a cold. Satoko is resting because she has a fever. I need to give her some handouts. May I please see her? You idiot. Weren't you listening to what I just said? Satoko is sick. She's sleeping right now. I can't let you see her. He thought this was going to cause him problems. Satoko was just a pet for him, and he had no intention to send her to school. But the teacher is at his house just because she missed one day of school. This is not good. Teppei hates schools and teachers. I see. Do you think she can come to school tomorrow? Who knows? I won't know until tomorrow. You idiot. I see. Alright. Please tell her that I came by. Thank you. He was able to get rid of her, but it's going to create more problems if he doesn't send her to school tomorrow. Teppei doesn't want to look for more trouble in this village. That means he can't beat Satoko up as much as he wants to. What the fuck, dude? His violence is his way of communication. It's so difficult for him that his privilege is taken away. He wants to beat up Satoko, but that will leave some marks on her body. If that happens, he can't send her to school. If she doesn't go to school, that teacher will come here again. Shit. On top of that, the Child Consultation Center paid a visit to his house tonight. That teacher must have filed a report. That bitch. I'll beat her up until her face is deformed next time I see her. Since Satoko was afraid of him, she pretended she was really sick when the social worker visited. It's so easy for him to control her. Teppei thinks that Satoko is his convenient pet. But at the same time, he needs to be careful of the Child Consultation Center. Shit. This is not good at all. Okay. Sure. I mean, we already knew that he was a terrible person, right? I don't know if we necessarily needed that, but it does further drive home the point that he sucks. Yeah? We'll see what happens. I mean, the only solution I see is to hurt this man. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I'd be hard pressed to find a solution other than to hurt this man somehow. Damn it! Why did she do that? About what I expected. Mian calls me in the middle of the night. The social worker went to Satoko's house tonight after getting a call from the school. They had a talk with Satoko and her uncle. He told them that Satoko didn't go to school today because of a cold. He claimed he didn't call the school because he didn't have the number. He explained that he spoke with Chie-sensei politely. Chie-sensei misunderstood his behavior. Satoko didn't really talk, but she never denied what her uncle was saying. So she said there's no abuse and that she doesn't need any help? Yes. Satoko always thought that her brother disappeared because she was relying on him. That's why she thinks she needs to handle it on her own without seeking anyone, or she thinks she needs to handle it on her own help. That's ridiculous. According to the social worker, she didn't have any obvious injuries, so they think this isn't an urgent case. It seems that she is fed and she has a place to sleep too. That's a given thing. Are you saying it's not abuse as long as she has something to eat and somewhere to sleep? At least that's what they think. In some cases, people refuse to let the social worker come inside their house. Just because they are able to talk with the uncle tonight, they determine that there's no urgency in this case. So they put a hold on the case. I bet Shion is disappointed. Yeah. Just like how Satoko is not seeking anyone's help because of Satoshi, Shion is also desperately trying to save Satoko because of him. But she seems calm now, even though she's very upset. I know this is not the time for complaining, but where the hell did Satoshi go? His sister is in danger. I have no idea where he is. I know. I'm sorry. I was hoping that he would save her if he came back. But it's a waste of time to think about that. I can't hope for someone else to save her. We are going to save her. That's right. We have to do what we can do. I'm impressed with the power of the Sonozaki family, though. You have the information from that social worker already. You must have a spy in the center. That's a national secret. So you know someone who knows a lot about the center? Did they give you any idea of what we should do next? Well, I was just advised to stay calm and see what happens. What the hell? Did you talk to them about the situation she's in right now? Her uncle is locking her up and he's abusing her. Why should we just relax and see what happens? Well, Hey-chan, this is not my opinion, okay? I'm just going to tell you what I was told by my contact. Well, it's true that Satoko didn't show up at school today, but it's just one day. It's not like she's been absent for weeks or months. We can't really deny the possibility that she has a cold. But she's being abused. You're saying that we should just stay calm while she is physically and emotionally harmed? Wait a minute, Kei-chan. That's the whole point. We are concerned about her because we know what happened to her last year, but she didn't get abused yesterday or today. We don't really know for sure if she's getting abused or not. She may not have a bruise on her body yet, but that's only a matter of time. Besides, isn't it abuse to force her to come back and live with him? Remember what we were talking about at school? It's a natural thing for a legal guardian to take his child under his custody. We can't really be definite about the abuse yet. But we have to do something before it happens. Sorry for yelling at you. I know this is not her opinion, but I realize I'm raising my voice at her. I apologize to her because I sense that she feels sad. I explained to my contact what happened to Satoko last year. They put her case on hold last year, too. The abuse stopped because of the fourth curse of Oyashiro-sama, right? Child Consultation Center didn't do anything about it. Anyway, the Child Consultation Center is not seeing any urgency in her case. Not as serious as we are. I see. We've done what we could do. Now we need to come up with a plan B. We should have a meeting tomorrow. We are the fearless club members. We've gone through worse than this before. We will save her for sure. Yes. As we speak, I feel less angry about the decision that the Child Consultation Center made. This is something we expected anyway. I was emotional for a while, but Mion is not taking it personally. She's usually a tough person, but I know that she feels very weak when something like this happens. I have to be careful so I don't get too emotional with her. Our enemy is Teppei. I can't yell at my friends just because I'm frustrated. I almost forget sometimes, but Mion is a girl. She will get hurt if I yell at her like that. Sometimes I take my stress out on her. I have to make sure I stop doing that from now on. All I can do by myself is probably the same thing that Shion was suggesting earlier. But I know that it will not make Satoko happy. We are the fearless club members, but the power I possess is the smallest among all of us. That's why I need to communicate with them. If we unite, we'll be able to come up with a better plan. I can't think of a plan all by myself. 3 heads are better than 1. I'm sure we'll figure out something. I'm going to call Rika-chan now. Will you call Rena? Sure. Rena was a good match with Shion today. She impressed me a lot. She's tough when push comes to shove. Yeah, Rena is always reliable when we're in trouble. But you impressed me too, Kei-chan. You were kind of cool today. I feel embarrassed of my passionate speech now. That was corny, huh? I'm hanging up now. I'm sure Rena is waiting. Give her a call, okay? Yep. Say hi to Rika-chan. I think she's hurt the most by all of this. Rika-chan was looking down with a depressed look on her face all day. It hurts my heart to just think about how she was today. It must have been even more painful to look at Satoko. Mion hangs up the phone. I also hang up and call Rena. She picks up the phone after one ring, which surprises me. Hello, Rena? You were waiting for the call, huh? Yes, I called you, but it was busy, so I didn't know what to do. You called me when I was talking with Mion. She's calling Rika-chan now. She told me to call you. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay. Is the case on hold? Yeah. Unfortunately. I'm really upset, but that's what we expected. I could guess what they said. It's only been a day, so there's nothing definite. She may have missed school because she really has a cold today, plus she doesn't have any obvious injuries. Is my guess right? You put a bug on my phone. You're exactly right. It's a ridiculous story. Only been a day, huh? It's too late after he really abuses her. If he abuses her, Satoko will get an obvious wound. If that happens, that uncle will not let the social worker see her. They will never find proof of abuse in that case. So ironic. They require approval from a court to do compulsory investigation. The social workers can't do anything once they are refused the opportunity to do the investigation. Not the police. They will not break the window to get inside the house. Who has the right to break that window? I'd do it if I could. Anyway, they're not serious about this case. They have no idea what will happen to Satoko if we don't do anything about it. I'm impressed. Why is that? You just moved to the village not too long ago. You've only known her for just a few months. But you're so serious about saving her. You don't even know what happened to her last year, but you can imagine how hurt Satoko-chan is right now. If you were an ordinary person, I'm sure that's what that you'd tell us. Be relaxed. Be relaxed. It's only been a day. It's not that difficult to imagine how horrible this can be. I also heard from you guys how terrible it was last year. It's no question that this case requires immediate attention. It's still impressive. You stopped Shi-chan when she tried to leave the classroom. What you said there was so deep. Do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder? Not something an average boy would say. I'm sorry for saying this, but I expected that you would say something like Shi-chan suggested today. That's our Rena. She understands so much. I became calm because Shion lost her mind. To be honest, I thought I should kill him too. All we have to do is just kill that loser and everything will be taken care of. That's what I thought. I even thought about how I would kill him. I was going to attack him with a metal bat. Before I killed him, I was going to dig a hole so I could bury him. In fact, I really dug a hole in the woods with a shovel inside of my mind. I told myself that this was for Satoko, and I forced myself to forget about the seriousness of the crime. I felt exhausted, impatient. I could clearly imagine getting covered with sweat. I could even feel the mosquitoes that bothered me. I would have called him and made him leave the house, and then I would have beaten him to death. I tried to forget about the seriousness of the crime, telling myself that this was all for Satoko. Satoko asked me to do that? Am I going to blame it all on her because I committed murder for her? Would she appreciate that? No, she wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to tell anyone that I killed someone. No one would appreciate my deed, and I'd have to carry out that burden for the rest of my life. It's a pathetic future that I never even imagined. I decided to kill him so I could get back to happy days. But committing murder is going to shatter that hope. I was able to imagine further. That's why I didn't say it out loud like Shion did. If I wasn't able to think straight, I would have agreed with her. I'm glad that didn't happen. That would have been a mess. I wonder if that was really my imagination. Did I imagine killing her uncle in my mind? Imagination seems so vivid and clear. I could smell the mud inside my mouth as I dug the hole. I felt the texture of the shovel as I dug and cut up the roots of the weeds. It felt as if I really did it before in the past. That's right. It's important to imagine the consequences. Right. You don't want to be an adult with no imagination. I think you'll become a good adult. I wonder if that was only my imagination. I feel like I've been through a different life before. People with good imaginations can take a look at every possibility. If you really felt like you saw the future, I think it wasn't just your imagination. You saw a possible future that could have happened. In that imaginary world, the Child Consultation Center put her case on hold too. Satoko came back to school for a while, but she broke after only a few days. Satoko was bearing the abuse, but something small was enough to break her. It's like an old bowl with cracks. One day, something that causes that crack to completely break. In my imaginary world, Satoko broke when I rubbed her head. She thought my hand was her uncle's hand. She pushed me away and hid behind the curtain and cried out for her brother, saying, "Nee, nee, nee, nee." Who told you that she called her brother Nini? Huh? I don't know. I guess someone told me. That's how she calls Satoshi, right? Anyway, it was such a devastating cry. I wanted to comfort her, but I couldn't even get close to her. She cried more as I walked closer to her, because she thought I was her uncle. You're amazing, Keiichi-kun. I can't believe that was only your imagination. That's exactly how Satoko-chan was last year. I clearly remember it, but it's impressive how you can imagine that. You've only been here for a few months. You are really amazing. I understand why you're so serious about her. So, you feel the same way I do? Yes. I can't see it as clearly as you can. But I think Satoko-chan will break in a few days if we don't do anything about this. I think she will hide behind the curtain and scream for her Nini. That's when we will finally realize something. Our crime is not about being powerless. It's not about not doing anything about it. Or it's about not doing anything about it, huh? This should just be my imagination, but I feel sad and I'm crying now. Rena is also feeling the urgency to save Satoko. This is not something that everyone is thinking. My friends are all serious about it. But the people from the Child Consultation Center think we're overreacting. They have a point, though. They can't say anything if they claim that it's only been one day. It's just like getting a cold. The doctors always say, let's see what happens for a couple of days. Rena, I think we should trust our instincts. We have no time to spare. We have to save Satoko. Yes. We can't come up with a good idea individually, but together we can accomplish anything. When I was down and depressed before, someone told me that same thing. I think now is the time to come together and show people what we can do. Yeah. I don't know who told you that, but that's a perfect statement. It's strange. I felt the same way when Rena told me about this in school. I also felt like I learned a lesson after something happened to me. But Rena and I only met recently. I guess it's just a coincidence. Anyway, I was so lonely inside of my imagination. I thought it was stupid for them to think about how they could save Satoko when I just made a selfish decision. But I eventually learned, just like Rena did. You can never reach the best conclusion when you're thinking about it on your own. You have to talk to your friends. That way, they will help you reach the best solution. You said something when you blocked Shi-chan's way today. You told her to trust you. You said that you didn't have any idea yet, but that you would find one soon. I'm going to trust you. I believe that you will come up with the best solution. Don't just rely on me. You can give me ideas if you have any. That's not what I meant. I have faith in my friends at all times. I'm going to trust us. And know that we can save Satoko-chan, but we're not going to use a shortcut. That's right. We will save her from this mess. Keep on believing. I believe in us too. I will never think that I'm the only one who's trying to save her. I believe that everyone wants to save Satoko. Let's have a meeting tomorrow. Chie-sensei might have new information too. We may not be able to come up with a good idea right away, but she might have something. Yeah, you're right. I know that there's always another option. That's right. We're not going to give up. There is a better way. I'm sure there is. We may not find it right away, but we will never give up. No, never. Rena is so tough, just as Mion was saying. I became emotional when I was talking with Mion, but Rena is different. The fire of her passion is blue, and it seems my red fire is stronger than hers. But in reality, a blue flame has a much higher temperature than a red one. As I talk with Rena, I feel myself calming down so I can think rationally. Rena gives me strength. However, Rena seems to feel the same way. When I'm talking with you, I feel like I can accomplish anything. You're so strong and reliable. I feel more energetic when I talk with you. I feel more confident that we can save Satoko-chan. I get calmness from you, and you get energy from me. We're balancing each other out like that, huh? It's an ideal arrangement. Michan has a strong background as a member of the Sonozaki family, but she has a very frail heart. But I believe that you and I can support her. That's right. We have nothing to be scared of. That's it. I feel very confident now. If I can give energy to my friends, I will never feel down and sad anymore. I'm going to give my power to the other members so that we can fight harder. Rika-chan is really depressed and she lost her energy to fight. But I'm sure she'll get her power back when she sees us working hard. You're right. When she gets her power back, nothing can stop us. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's talk about our plan along with the principal. We should get advice from many people. Let's find the best solution. That's the best thing that we can do. Yes. I get off the phone with Rena. It was a pretty passionate conversation. It's unfortunate that the Child Consultation Center came to that conclusion. But at the same time, we know that she was still okay today. We are just young kids. No matter how much we brainstorm, we can't come up with a good idea. Murder is not a solution to the problem. But I have to admit, I thought about it once. Murder's like the most viable option here. But I know that it's not the correct option obviously because of all the things that we mentioned. But what other solution is there? If we're being honest, like tell him to F off, hit him with some criminal charges. I feel like him being a criminal would be enough means to take her away from him, you know? Like, if you're, like, a hardcore criminal and you're like, hey, I want to take care of this child, like, you could argue, like, no. I feel like that's what you would hit on if you were trying to solve this peacefully. You would contact the police and try and get a murder or a criminal conviction on him or something. To throw him in jail or something. You know? I don't know. However, I have to stay calm like Rena. She's still burning up. But she's burning up very calmly with a blue quiet fire. I've never seen anything like her before. Keiichi, go take a bath. Hurry up. I hear my mom talking to me. You can go ahead of me, Mom. I need some more time to think about what to do with Satoko. I'm sure everyone is doing the same by now. You should go first. There's bath salt from the real hot springs in there. It feels really good. I don't think there's bath salt inside the real hot springs. Milk tastes so good after the bath? Is that true? I don't know if that's a true statement. I feel like it tastes exactly the same. My dad seems to be in a good mood today. Perhaps he has finished his work today. I guess it's like water is really good when you're hot, so I don't know. Like, it doesn't taste any different, but it's like better after you've exercised. He's as scary as a bear when he's in his artist slump. That's right, my parents might have a good idea. They're the closest adults around me. Should I talk to them? Stupid question. I have no reason not to talk to them. I have to talk to them and seek for some advice. Dad, I have something I want to talk to you about. Huh? Is it about the auction? I'm supporting you. When's the next meeting for the festival committee? I'm invited too. I have to mark my calendar. Oh, it's not about that. My classmate is in trouble. As I talk about Satoko, my mom also joins us and listens. My dad is a strange artist, but my mom is a normal person with common sense. The strange artist. She might be able to help me. I got a call and just found out that they put her case on hold. We were wondering about what we should do now. I already called the Child Consultation Center, so you should let them take care of it. But she was being abused last year, too, right? I don't know how badly she was getting abused, but I think it's wrong for him to force her to move out of her friend's place. He was neglecting her for a year, after all. We can't just wait and see what happens just because the Child Consultation Center is saying so. We are her friends, so we want to be more aggressive about saving her. But we have no idea how we can do that. Keiichi, don't even think about attacking him. I'm not. I wouldn't talk to you guys if that was on my mind. That's true. I thought you might ask us how to commit a perfect crime. Hey, I would never ask my parents something like that, I think. Keiichi is right. There are many battles in this world, but it's important that you follow the rules. People will not help you if you're going to break the rules, and they will not respect you either. You have to follow the rules. Are there even rules for fighting? So, anyway, do you have any ideas? They've been living for more than twice as long as I have. I'm sure they have more wisdom. They must have many good ideas. Or at least that's what I thought. But they cross their arms and go quiet. Calling the Child Consultation Center is the first thing. But I don't know what to do when that doesn't work. Do you think we can even rely on the law? Do you think the police won't do anything until Satoko is seriously injured? I think you have to make an appeal. Appeal? You mean sue him? That's not it. The Child Consultation Center is supposed to take care of the child abuse cases. But if you're unsatisfied with the decision they make an appeal to the court? Keiichi, you go to a court when you can't resolve an issue with the person you're dealing with. The final place to go. You want the Child Consultation Center to protect Satoko-chan, right? But they made a decision that you disagree with. And I have a couple questions still about the story. There's like still some things that are unanswered and that I need to know a little bit about. So before we even get into anything here, the first thing that we need to know is what the fuck are doppelgangers and why did one show up in that one story? Also, this music is fucking lit. It's like a bongo thing or drum thing. I don't know what instrument it is. What the fuck? What? I'm sorry. The music just. What? Anyway, doppelgangers. This music is fucking insane. It needs to like calm down. Cool. I like this music a lot. I just got completely derailed by this music. I know it's really quiet. Okay, I'm gonna stop. The music is just, I can't with the music. Okay, doppelgangers, and then also Rena's gone crazy in other storylines that she didn't go crazy in, if that makes sense. Like, Rena had her own storyline that made her go crazy. Why in, like, all the other storylines did she go crazy? And was it just because Keiichi was crazy? Was that the only reason? Because after we killed the uncle, we seem to have gone back to the classroom, and then when we mentioned that we killed the uncle, basically, everybody got scary eyes and, like, was, like, scary. Was that just Keiichi going crazy? I don't know. I guess that's something I need to figure out. Also, it seems like we're kind of remembering everything now, so that's good. Did they already explain doppelgangers and I just missed it? Because, like, I feel like that's something that we need to... Because there was another Keiichi in that world. So, I don't know. We need to figure that out. We need to make a deal with the Consultation Center. If we're unsatisfied with the decision they made, we can simply go and tell them that. We need to go there and explain to them how serious this is. That's right. They have no idea the situation Shitoko-chan is in right now. If they are misunderstanding what's going on, we have to go there and make it clear. I see. That's the best approach. I don't know about that. I heard that they never change their decisions. It might be just a waste of time. We don't know that until we try. Giving up before even trying is what losers do. We have to try everything we can try. Remember what the principal said. We will fail if we give up before we fight. You're in a rage because you want to save Satoko as soon as possible. But real hot fire is blue and quiet. Don't give up. We should do everything we can. What do you think, Chie-sensei? Am I wrong? No. You're not saying anything wrong. You've calmed down a lot. I was concerned for you because I thought you might come up with an idea to attack him in the dark. That's what my mom was saying. Is this how people perceive me? I thought we should wait and see what happens. But after hearing you guys, and thinking about what happened last year, I now understand that this is an emergency situation. People can change their minds if you are persuasive enough. The Child Consultation Center might change their view too. They might take back their decision if you make an appeal to them. What do you think? Shichan? You should fight with us rather than thinking about it alone. I'm not feeling lonely. I'm not sad because I'm all alone. Shion sounds awfully sad. I bet you want to join us. Whatever. Fine then. Let's just go to the Child Consultation Center. I'm going to break their noses if they don't take back their decision. That's not a good idea, but I feel your passion now. I guess you calmed down after getting some sleep. I'm just serious about saving Satoko. Anyway, let's go and make it happen. I know where the Child Consultation Center is. Uncle Mion didn't know until recently, but it's the first floor of the library. Mion smiles and shows us the city information book. She's so prepared for this. You know what I just realized just now, and I wonder if it's always been the case? Is that Shion has slightly bluer eyes. Has that always been the case? Like even in the upgraded graphics? Or is it just like in these two sprites? We have to stay calm. No, like it feels like they have different colored eyes. So I wonder if like if you go back and like try and spot the differences in the ones where we were confused if it was Mion or not. I wonder if we would be able to see that. That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Are you talking to me, sis? Who do you think I am? I'll cry if I have to. Our goal is to make them change their mind. That's it, Shichan. I think we can make it if we leave right now. It's past 3 o'clock right now. We'll make it before they close if we rush there on our bikes now. But they're strict about time, aren't they? They might kick us out as soon as it's time to close. The door will close on time, but once we're inside, they'll never kick us out. Listen, do not give up when dealing with them. They are very tough, but they're not allowed to finish the conversation. That's why you can't give up with them. We have to talk until we're satisfied. How do you know about all that, Shion or Michan? Who do you think I am? I attend meetings in Sonozaki Oryu's place. I speak to officials all the time. Hey, Mion, is it possible to save her using the power of the Sonozaki family? Well, not if I have to go through my grandma. It's impossible to get help from her. She's still consumed by the dam conflict. She's still in a rage about the project. She hates the Hyojo family to this day. You talking about Satoko's parents who were for the project? I've never met Mion's grandma, but she needs to learn how to forgive. It's a thing of the past now. Exactly. I agree with you, Kei-chan. So the Sonozaki family can't do anything about it? That's right. I'm sorry. Old people are so stubborn. They cherish Rika-chan, but they don't care about Satoko. It's a horrible thing. I'm not going to forgive Satoko's uncle for aggressively abusing her, but I'm also not going to forgive other people who quietly abuse her. Tell those people not to piss off Maebara Keiichi. I'll do that. Shall we go now? We have no time to waste. Alright. We better hurry up. Let's get going. You want to come with us, Rika-chan? Let's go. Rena talks to Rika-chan, who has stayed away from our conversation. She seems to have given up all hope yesterday. It's so painful to see her depressed like this. It's just a waste of time anyway. You have to stop saying anyway. You don't know if it's a waste of time or not unless we try. You guys have done everything you can in the previous lives, but you never found a way to save her. You think this time is different? Sometimes I don't really understand what she is saying. I just know that she's being negative about the situation. Have you gone to the consultation center and tried it already? Then we should try. Satoko-chan is important to you, right? We have to try and see what happens. I'm sure Satoko needs your help right now. This world is going to end soon anyway. What's wrong? We have to hurry up. Rika-chama doesn't seem to be interested. So much for friends. She seems so close to Satoko, but won't even lift her butt up to save her. I never thought you would say that to me. You were so against her in the beginning. What? Is your brain working alright? Why would I be against Satoko? Never mind. Fine, I'll come with you guys. I have nothing to do at home but get drunk anyway. Pissing me off. Are you making fun of me? Stop it, Shi-chan. You stop it too, Rika-chan. Let's get together and save Satoko-chan. I'm sure we can make the miracle happen if we work together. But we need everyone to come together. We can't leave any one of us behind. We need you too, Rika-chan. I wonder if something Rena said is giving motivation to Rika-chan. I can see a slight sparkle in her eyes now. Rena said something interesting. She said that we can make the miracle happen. It's the same thing I said when this world started. At that time, I said I could make the miracle happen, but I didn't say how. But Rena just clearly stated it. We can make a miracle happen if we work together. Yes. Miracles can happen when we come together. What if it doesn't happen? That means we haven't given our best effort yet. If we do all the best we can, a miracle will happen for sure. That's true. Ryugu-san is right. People get stronger when they help each other. You can overcome any obstacle when everyone gets together. Yep. Hinamizawa was fated to be submerged underwater. But 2,000 people got together and defeated that destiny. Defeat. Destiny. As villagers of Hinamizawa, we all know that miracles do happen. We'll win if we work hard together. I think you have no choice but to come with us now, Rika-chama. If you don't come, the miracle will not happen. Your absence will prevent it from happening. That's going to be my fault. That's interesting. A miracle is something that we can make happen. But we need everyone's power to make that true. That destiny can be defeated. It can be defeated with a miracle. A miracle can happen if we unite. Rena told me yesterday, you can never come up with a solution if you think about it all alone. We have to talk this out together. Don't let fate get the better of you. Destiny is as fragile as a thin sheet of paper. How can he say that without knowing how stubborn destiny is? How can he say that to me? But for some reason his words sound very persuasive. He easily changed destiny of playing the fishing game. In the previous life, Keiichi saved Rena from her devastating fate. Destiny is as fragile as a thin sheet of paper? He's saying that the world I've been struggling in for 100 years is easy to change? I feel foolish now. Interesting. I'll go with you guys. That's more like you, Rika-chan. Oh, Rika, are you sure? Hanyu looks at me with concern. She wants to tell me that I'll get hurt if I expect too much. I don't have any coins left to bet. I don't have anything to lose. This world is ending soon anyway. But it was the same in the previous life. I thought all was lost when Rena took over the school, but Keiichi turned everything around. He's saying that destiny is as fragile as a thin sheet of paper. I've given up on this world anyway, but I'm interested. Fate will betray you anyway. I'll get hurt as I see you get hurt. Don't worry, I'm not going to be depressed anymore. I have no tears left to shed. I know that they can't save Satoko no matter what happens. That's why I'm doing this. It's the first time we're going to the Child Consultation Center. Keiichi can't make any miracles happen. Hanyu talks to me with a stern voice. Miracles are called miracles because they don't happen easily. If it can happen at any time, it's not a miracle. It's just something that was meant to be. I'm not expecting anything, but I'm just interested. I'm curious how Keiichi is going to make this his move after saying that he can easily change destiny. Rika, please don't hurt yourself anymore. Shut up. Go away. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just trying to enjoy my last week. It's like watching a TV show. But I have to admit I'm feeling a strange emotion. It's a high feeling. I'm excited as if I'm expecting something to happen. I felt the same feeling when Keiichi remembered the memories from the past in the previous life. I don't have any coins left to make a bet. But I know what this feeling means to me. If I had a coin left in my heart, I would bet everything on this feeling. If it doesn't work out after trying every option, we'll have no choice but to give up. There's no need for us to give up. Satoko is going to be saved. You better prepare a clean blanket for Satoko. She's coming back to you soon. You need to have a blanket ready for her. I like that, Keiichi. Let's go. You might tear up. Or you might tear up this destiny like a thin sheet of paper. Yep, nothing can stop me. I'm going to make them change their decision. I stand up from my seat. Keiichi is such a good speaker. That's why I don't get bored with him. I've been with him for 100 years, yet he still keeps me interested. I'm going to the Child Consultation Center now. Do you want to come with us, Sensei? I'm going to talk to the Board of Education. They are under the same branch as the Child Consultation Center. It might be effective if I talk to them. After all, I'm working for the public too. That's true. They might listen to what you have to say. Let us have her take care of that, and we should take care of our business. Let's fight them. Yes, let's go. Yeah. I know everything is doomed, but part of me feels something might happen. Hanyu tells me it's only a waste of time. It felt the same way until a few minutes ago, but now I'm getting interested. I have no idea what's going to happen. I want to see how Keiichi is planning to defeat this destiny. I lift up my fist with them and hurry down to the exit. Satoko didn't come to the school again today. Teppei called the school and told them that she still has a fever. He said that he's going to keep her home for a few days until her fever breaks. Chie thinks that Teppei knows that she reported to the Child Consultation Center. He thinks Satoko will rat him out if he lets her go to school. I don't want to think about this, but there's a possibility that Satoko has a bruise on her body now. That's why he can't let her go to school. Everything seems to be happening very early. I think Satoko's situation is getting worse earlier than it did in the previous lives. Alright, that is a perfect place to stop the video. Yeah, so sorry for the large gaps in between episodes recently. It's mainly because I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. But going forward and looking at the future, I think we have some open spaces to kind of record this game a lot more, back to our normal schedule, which was like every other day before. So I'm hoping to do that as well, or again, hopefully. I don't know. I like to like think that I can do things, and then I'm not actually able to do them. So, stay tuned for some more episodes. We're obviously gonna finish this game. It's just a matter of when. Then we also have Phoenix Wright. If you're into that series, we might be taking a little bit of a break on Phoenix Wright just so we can hard grind this series. I think running 2 visual novels is a little odd. So we're just gonna hard run this series for a little bit. We might upload a couple Phoenix Wrights here and there, but who knows what's gonna happen. This story is interesting because I feel like the story still has some more leeway to explain. You know, like there's still some stuff that they could get into, which is scary. Like where's Satoshi at? I think that's always been a big mystery of this series. Is like Satoshi disappeared, and that was the big. That was actually Satoshi was the big determining factor of everything. And I said a long time ago, back in like I don't know, like a couple chapters ago, I was like, I think Satoshi has a bigger part to play in this whole thing than we're being led on to believe, right? And at the time I was kind of thinking that oh maybe Satoshi's the leader of the demons, right? And like that was my thinking. But now I'm thinking that Satoshi's just a plot point, you know? Satoshi is the reason why everything goes wrong. Um he runs away for no reason. Nobody knows where he is. Based on the information that they're trying to tell me is real, like if the Sonozaki family's not involved and like everything's that well I guess maybe they are involved because of Shion. I don't know. I really don't know anything about Satoshi. That's something that I need to answer. As well as the doppelganger situation again. It might have been answered and I just don't remember. Or I didn't realize that it was answered at that point in time. So if it has been answered, let me know. But if it hasn't been answered, that's going to be an interesting thing to just kind of bring up. Like, because what we're really doing here is we're attributing the first couple games to Keiichi just being crazy. And if that's the case, there's a lot of moments where like Keiichi's pretty early on in his thing, right? And he doesn't have any reason to go crazy yet. And Rena is just off the deep end already. Like when he mentions Satoshi's name, she's like, "Don't mention his name again." Blah blah blah. Like it's probably not a good idea. It was just like really creepy. Like why would he see that? Um, I don't know necessarily, or maybe I'm tripping, and maybe it was like after he's seen some crazy shit. I'd have to. It'd be interesting to go back and just like look through this series again and see what's going on. I imagine that's what some of you are doing right now, but it's just interesting. Anyway, I gotta go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the episode today, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's lots of visual novel and stuff, and lots of roguelike stuff too. If you do that. I'm tired though. I'm gonna go hit the bed, go to work tomorrow. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be, and peace out, you guys.